At this point in time, market participants are pricing in an 89.8% chance that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates to 3.75 to 4% during their meeting on October 29. The Federal Open Market Committee is meeting again, and many are expecting interest rates to be cut again. Your daily return to the blockchain channel is much appreciated by the XRP army. The love you show is greatly appreciated. Let us know if you haven't already by clicking the button. We're already waiting for you, to mindful of the timing of my disclosures to you all. I think we can all agree that Friday was fantastic if we step back and examine the broader view. The cryptocurrency markets are showing a lot of green as Saturday morning approaches. Things like that always bring a smile to my face. As expected, given that is the weekend, the price of XRP is currently up about 1.3%. There was an unusual amount of manipulation, and CME futures are now closed. The situation, however, seems to be heading in the appropriate path so far. There has risen 1% from yesterday and is now 27.78. The market capitalization of Bitcoin is currently C66 billion, and the number of Bitcoins traded every 24 hours is around 6.2 billion. Please be advised that the content on this channel does not constitute business advice. Make sure you know what you're getting into with cryptocurrency before you invest. This week, funds trading on the US spot exchange underperformed. More this week, almost 800 million Ether and over 900 million Bitcoins were withdrawn from circulation. A large number of losses have been observed. With that, I will conclude. Nobody should be surprised if you're good at keeping up with Bitcoin news. In the last 7 days, the aggregate value of all cryptocurrencies has fallen by 260 billion. Like I said before, the market is kind of heading in all different directions depending on what Bitcoin does. That is all there is to the matter. Without a doubt, many people would prefer that this not happen. However things stand right now, historical data makes it crystal clear that September is not your average bullish month. In all likelihood, Bitcoin will end the month in the red. However, this is predicated on how things currently stand. In the grand scheme of things, you can tell all you need to know by looking at Bitcoin's trajectory over the last year. However, during the last week, there has been a lot of uncertainty surrounding September. But let's skip the boring part and get to the point. The BS released a statement during the Washington, D.C. FinTech Week. Look at the people who took part. Ripple works with every single one of the featured individuals. Bitstamp, Citi, Ripple, and Robinhood are just a few examples. On finance, Arlos, D. Gibson Dunn, and Chainlink are the 6 companies. From the start, Legal has been closely monitoring Ripple's case. The District of Columbia's FinTech Week will undoubtedly attract a slew of powerful figures. Post your Bitwise, Gayscale, Vine, or Canary Holdings in the comment section below. Putting money into spot ETFs over the next 2 weeks should be a good idea because of this. These will, in my opinion, be warmly received. Everyone seems to be under the impression that a Solana exchange-rated fund ETF is going to go live sometime in the coming week. Contemplating that at the same time is equally insane. Time. Is it true that Solana will join Bitcoin and Ethereum as exchange-traded funds at ETFs? Please share your thoughts by posting a comment below. The approval of a large portion of these exchange-rated funds is within my realm of belief. You should also investigate the deadline since we are talking about ETF clearing. The following XRP ETF decision dates will thus be announced very soon: Grayscale, 20-share Bitwise, Canary, Wisdom, and Franklin. Regardless, the vast majority of them fall within the fourth quarter's planned schedule for this month. The sole individual who does not fall into this group is Franklin Templeton, outside of the main body of text. Could you please inform me of your expectations regarding the launch date or expected delay of the XRP ETF? I would greatly appreciate it. However, October holds great importance for you. Surely you've heard many of these ETF debates before. Just to clarify, I would like to know if you think XRP will be part of an exchange-traded fund ETF or not. Within if it goes live, I'd like to be notified. Fill out the space below with your answer. By monitoring institutional usage, Vanguard is now making it clear that digital assets are too important to ignore. Vanguard has always been known for its cautious approach and stance against cryptocurrency. That was then. Van isn't the only one involved. Feeling down lately. Been looking forward to the program for a while now. Given this, you are cognizant that a number of these well-known personalities have consistently shown zero enthusiasm for cryptocurrency. However, they are now making a name for themselves in the digital asset and product creation spheres. You are aware that I am not in self-custody because my parents want to make sure that their customers can use cryptocurrency. Could someone recommend a company that is doing something similar? They are building on trading platforms and forming huge partnerships. Just a Ripple. A great deal is occurring at the moment, but the single most critical consideration is that the market has progressed so far that even banks that were against cryptocurrency a few years ago are now seeing its potential and jumping on the bandwagon. But here's the thing: Cassie, in her capacity as Ripple's managing director, talks about how incredible it is that the company has strong ties to the US and a substantial presence in the UK. With its focus on digital assets, Ripple is well positioned to promote innovation on a global scale. The Ripple project will be the backbone of the cryptocurrency ecosystem in the UK. See this for yourself if you like. Simultaneously, he is showing an overwhelming amount of Ethereum P charts, and you are obviously aware of this. The ups and downs are becoming more extreme because we are climbing. Everything that happens will be visible to us. You must know that the value of that additional P was close to $3 not long ago within the last 3 or 4 days. You can see that the trend for extra P is going in the right direction if you look at us. We are currently at 58.57%, a marked decline over the previous day. In my opinion, OPI, nobody appears to be too upset about it. Now let's take a brief look at Bitcoin once again. On this Saturday morning, around 109,300 Bitcoins were in circulation according to estimates. Bitcoin is still considered a legal tender, as I previously said. Believe it or not, we are still not out of the woods. I thought you might be interested to know that. At the 236 key support, we may still be able to repeat line without a hitch until we get back to our Comation zone. I want 15,000. I will keep telling you that. That is very important to keep in mind right now. Now, let's examine the current state of XRP. There is no XRP in those. Each one is worth $2. What came to mind initially, that XRP is trading at only 21 cents is completely insane. Now, that's not XRP though. So that's all there is to it. You guys are using the wrong chart. We need to get the right chart. This is XRP. So that's all there is to it. All right. Right now, the XRP costs 2.78, which is not too far from our recent price point. In this case, I must say that I am pleased. The 23.6 fib zone is still meant to be the target. Restoring the prices to this level would be fantastic. You can all see how important that is. Only about 3% remain before we come to the 23.6 level. It doesn't bother me if the price stays around 23.6 for a couple of weeks, but I would prefer it if it stayed around that range. However, for ETH, the number 23 points was extremely important. Things don't seem so bad, though, when you look at the big picture. Presently, the price is 2.73, surpassing the resistance level, and we're on the verge of breaking through an 80 bear. If the 23.66 cent is successful in